Have you ever considered what it would be like to live on the African continent? If you are of African descent, do you dream of one day returning to the motherland and perhaps live an idyllic existence? Is Africa really the way it is depicted by foreign cultures? You know, the land of Tarzan of the Apes, one big safari park with bone through the nose, loincloth wearing, hut dwelling, swinging from trees, voodoo practicing famine-stricken natives? Well, stay with me on this video and I will take you on an interesting journey and give you some insights into the real Africa and Nigeria in particular. You are in the spotlight. Be enlightened. Be informed. Click on the subscribe button and the notification bell if you're new around here, and you'll be kept up to date with the latest news and videos that are in the spotlight. We traveled out of Europe via Amsterdam and landed in Lagos. I was just bubbling with excitement. The first thing to hit me in Lagos was the heat and humidity of the climate. There were no escalators within the airport terminal building, and horrors upon horrors, the air conditioning was non-existent. As a boy from the tropics, this shouldn't have bothered me much, but I was now living in Europe, and being it was the month of March, I was coming out of cold Europe, so the upward temperature change was dramatic to say the least. The airport terminal building gave me an introduction to the rowdiness of Lagos that I was about to meet. It seems like the terminal building was a free-for-all, where itinerant petty traders seemed to have unrestricted access, which they exploited to the fullest with their full frontal assault upon unsuspecting incoming travelers with their various wares and merchandises. I also noted the extraordinary situation of the relative ease with which foreign exchange hustlers were also able to set up physical offices inside the terminal building, from where they would conduct their unregulated trade. The airport terminal building was like a big bazaar. It was really a chaotic scene. Funny enough, the guys that received us at the airport and walked us through the immigration and custom formalities were from among the band of encroaching forex dealers within the terminal building. So I guess we benefited from an undesirable situation. The city of Lagos was then, and still is, a vibrant and buzzing metropolis with a good representation of the ethnic mix of nearly all of the tribal groupings from around the country. After all, it is the commercial heart of the country, and everyone wants their piece of the pie, or better yet, their piece of the yam. This notwithstanding, I disliked Lagos because most of the areas I had seen were overcrowded, rowdy and chaotic, horrendous traffic problems, and it reminded me too much of downtown Kingston, Jamaica. Back then, I also disliked downtown Kingston. Maybe if I had visited the more salubrious areas of Lagos like Victoria Island or Lekki, I might have formed a completely different opinion like I have now. The stay in Lagos was brief, overnight to be precise, because it was just a transit point. Our final destination was in the northern region of the country to the town of Zaria in Kaduna State. We had a choice in the mode of transport from Lagos to Kaduna, whether we would go by air or by road. The choice to go by air was made very easy after we learned that the trip by road would take more than a day to cover a distance of approximately 850 kilometers. None of us had the appetite to endure nightfall on poorly maintained roads while traversing through the jungle and wilderness areas of the country. So a domestic flight to the city of Kaduna, the capital of Kaduna State, was our emphatic choice. By the way, it appears like it was a thing in Nigeria when places were being named, that the people who were saddled with the responsibility of the naming convention were either not very imaginative or were totally bereft of creative naming ideas. How else could it be explained why there are a few states of the Federation where these states and their capitals bear the same names, just like this Kaduna State? Anyway, The brief overnight stay in Lagos was interesting enough for me to develop the idea of a possible return in the future. The Lagos of today is really a stark contrast to the one that I've so far described. Lagos is now a very happening place with much to offer to both residents and visitors. Anyway, our journey continued the following day when we boarded the domestic flight to Kaduna. Once again, my experiences at the check-in at the domestic air terminal in Lagos was even more bemusing. Let's just say that at one point, I could have been forgiven for thinking that I was at the local bus park with the attendant touts and hustlers all vying for my attention. The baggage checks and the passenger ticketing and the check-in process left me wondering if I would ever see my bags again, or if I would even board the flight to my destination. Incredibly, I, along with my traveling companions, were able to board the flight and made our way north and landed safely in Kaduna. The flight to Kaduna lasted just under an hour, and it was uneventful and relaxing. It was really comforting to discover that Kaduna City and its airport were contrastingly different from Lagos. Kaduna was more sedate, not overcrowded, and the population, though not as multifarious in its ethnic mix like Lagos, was ethnically diverse enough to betray the fact that Kaduna was once the administrative capital of northern Nigeria. And like almost all capital cities, it provided the pull for all and sundry from among the country's population to flock to it for the opportunities that it holds. Kaduna and northern Nigeria in general have a comparative advantage over Lagos and the other southern states in land area. I found that this difference in the available land mass across the north-south divide is a contributory factor in the great population debate in the country. The people of the South, when making the case for their claim to having a larger population than their northern brethren, would point to the obvious congestions and overcrowded nature of Lagos and some other southern population centers. While in the north, in places like Kaduna and Kano State, their champions would highlight the fact that due to the abundance of land in the region, the inhabitants are widely dispersed, and therefore they don't benefit from the illusion of a bulging and teeming population that is created by overcrowdedness. I will say no more on this population debate because it is a hot topic in Nigeria, and it is not my intention to join issues with the protagonists on either side. Just like in Lagos, I spent the night in Kaduna in preparation for the journey by road to Zaria the following day. My brief tour around Kaduna revealed a staid and laid-back city that has come to terms with the fact that it was no longer the main capital city in the north. But from the visible infrastructures like the roads and buildings, institutions, and the population mix, an outsider would easily pick up that it was once a very important place in the country. Join me for the continuation of this epic journey in my next video. Thank you for watching and listening. Please like and share this video and leave a comment in the comments section below. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to the channel for the latest updates by clicking on the subscribe button and the notification bell below.